Hey guys, welcome to blah. Okay,
Welcome to Deep Display.
that did not go as planned. And I said 13 minutes, but we haven't been recording the whole time, so uh, it'll just be like 15, 20 seconds
No problem.
in. Hey folks, welcome to Deep Dish Gaming. I'm Pat,
This is Kaz.
and we are here to dish it out. You'll have to excuse the somewhat extended break from our normal recording schedule. The holidays hit, and everybody knows how that goes.
Yep.
We took a break for Thanksgiving, and then I kind of sort of got a new job, and that kept me super busy. But we're back now.
Yep, it's good to see everyone.
Oh yeah,
Or hear everyone, I guess.
yeah. And there's a lot to talk about because a lot's happened in these few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
It's been I think it's been 2, maybe 3 weeks since we were.
I think only about 2. Well,
2. Wait, yeah,
2.
Thanksgiving. Yeah. Well, we're at like the 3-week mark.
We're getting close to 3. If we didn't do it today, we'd be at 3.
yeah. Okay, so 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
You guys can deal without us for that long. Think of it like a vacation for us.
we've been gone way longer.
Yeah, for real. It's not like the 4-month break we took before. Where we're like, let's record. And it just never happened.
It just either it never happened or it just sat there.
Yeah, we've got 6 recordings that never got posted. We should just pile them all together in one long video and be like, hey, if you want to take a peek back in time, listen to all of this at once.
That's impossible now because those recordings don't exist anymore.
Oh, I've still got mine saved.
Oh, they do? Okay, you have. Okay, that's good.
I don't have all of them.
Oh, okay.
My hard drive is not that big.
Yeah, bro, I had to clean my hard drive like a week ago and everything because of all the footage, and all the recordings we've been doing for the podcast and everything. Like one day I was I was downloading something. Oh yeah, I know I was downloading, but I was downloading a game and it was like, nope, you don't have enough space. And I was like, what do you mean I don't have enough space? And then I went to the hard drive in the settings and stuff for storage, and it was like, so here's where all of your space is going. And it was like all Deep Dish Gaming videos and footage and podcasts, and I was like, oh.
Yeah. I had to clear out space on my hard drive when I downloaded the Endwalker update.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. So should we dive into what we've been playing?
Yeah, why don't we go ahead? Speaking of Endwalker.
Yeah. I know that's do you want to start?
Yeah.
Go for it, man.
Yeah, I'll go ahead. But yeah, pretty much Endwalker and everything. So I haven't had a chance to play it over the past, I don't know, almost like a week, honestly. It has been almost a week since I've played it, but it's mostly
I've been on just about every night and you haven't been.
Yes, it's true. But again, it's just because I've gotten really busy here, getting everything ready for Christmas. Family and folks are coming down. Got to make sure the house is clean. Got to get all the presents. Got to decorate. Got to do this and that and this and that. So yeah, it's been really busy for me. But I am done now, even though I am pretty exhausted. But from what I have played of Endwalker, I've played probably about, I'd say close to about maybe 20 hours, 24 hours or so.
What's your level count now?
I am 80, either 5 or 6.
Last I saw, you were 85 when you were online when I hopped in.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah. But so just to make it really quick and everything, because there's a lot to Endwalker, and I don't want to spoil anything from what I've seen so far. But I will say this: if you've played up to Endwalker to this point, you won't have a problem with this game whatsoever. I really don't feel like you will and everything. Because by this point, you already know how it goes. You already know that there's a whole bunch of story involved. So it's like you can't complain about cutscenes because you've already been through it. It's standard Final Fantasy. You know what you're in for at this point.
Yeah.
So it's great. The story is great. There's a lot of very limited fetch quests. I did not run across that many so far.
Thank the Lord, because I'm at the end of Heaven's Ward. I've finished the expansion, but I'm in that weird the quest they added in with each patch.
Oh yeah.
And I just finished. It was the big scene in Falcon's Nest where the whole ceremony and unveiling was happening, and you remember all the nonsense that went on there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Just the lead up to that, oh hey, talk to this guy. Okay, now travel halfway across the planet, talk to this guy, and come back. I hate that. That's lazy quest design. Don't make me do that.
No. I completely agree. It's definitely not my favorite sort of passage of rights for for playing this game and everything. But just to let you know, there's not a whole lot of fetch quest in the actual Endwalker update. It's very to the point. That's not to say though, again, that there isn't a lot of story. I will honestly say that this expansion is probably the heaviest story. In other words, a lot of cutscenes and everything. I didn't reach if you actually watch all the cutscenes through and through, like I usually do. I didn't hit my first dungeon until about anywhere between hour 6 or hour 7. Like, that's not saying that I just read the entire time. Like, there were things to do, and I did get into battle. So I'm just saying I didn't hit like my first dungeon until like 6 or 7 hours in.
Wow.
And everything. So yeah, like it is active. Like, you are doing things and stuff. It's just there's a lot going on, and the story is really like it pushes on all levels. I'm gonna just say that. Like, everything you do pretty much has a point to it. And it doesn't feel like you're wasting your time with the story. Like if you skip like a cutscene or two and you try to get back into it, you're going to be lost. Like, I'm being completely honest with you, you're probably going to be lost, because there's going to be a lot of terms, there's a lot of things that people are talking about, and it's all done very carefully, and the pacing is done wonderfully as well and everything. It's just that there's a lot to it. There's a lot of this new world that they're showing you and everything. So a lot of those first few hours, it's just world building, which I like. I love world building, and I'm sure Pat, as a fellow writer, you would appreciate that as well, and everything. But it was so far it's been very good. I think I'm on my third. I just completed my third dungeon and everything. I get the feeling that I'm about halfway, close to halfway, maybe through Endwalker. We'll see what happens. But so far, all the updates, they are great and everything. I haven't played the new classes yet. I'm gonna go back and do the classes later and stuff. I want to just go ahead and run this through with my my main tank, my main boy here, and get things done and stuff. But other than that, though, I'm really enjoying it. It's been a blast and stuff. And yeah.
Nice. I just did my first dungeon in the post Heaven's Word content.
Nice.
The anti-tower.
Wait. Yeah. I saw that in the group chat. The anti. I'm trying to remember
dolls?
That. What is the? Oh, the dolls. Hold up.
The
creepy dolls?
Yeah, where there's like 6 of them and they swirl and dance.
Oh, now I remember. Yeah.
Maggie and I didn't see that coming. We were just playing through it, and we got to that part, and we're both like, "What is this? Like, this is horrifying. What the crap?"
Oh my God. Okay, then yeah. Yeah, that is pretty scary, pretty creepy.
Ooh, dude, it was like, at first it was hysterical because the first boss of that dungeon is like a giant frog, and it turns you into frogs. And
yes,
we were like, this is funny. And then we get to that dungeon, and I'm like, nope, this is terrifying. I hate dolls. I hate porcelain dolls. They're the creepiest things in the world to me. And yeah, I was like, ooh, this is ticking all the right boxes for survival horror. And considering our healer was not exactly the best, it really was a survival horror fight.
I'm sorry. But no, speaking of which, I meant to tell you, I unlocked. I had no choice, Pat, but I had to unlock the infamous dungeon you've talked about so much.
Oh, Aram Vale?
Yep.
Nice.
I had to do it because apparently there was like some sort of monster I had to slay in it to get my rank up with the Maelstrom company I signed up for. So yeah, I had to unlock that dungeon so I can go to that dungeon and slay the specific monster. But yeah. So I'm gonna be honest. Honestly, it wasn't that hard. It wasn't hard at all. I didn't die at all or anything. I guess
a good party that knows what they're doing, you don't die.
Yeah.
If you are like me and there's always 1 or 2 newbies in there, it's awful.
Well, I guess everyone knew what they were doing. I guess I was the only noob to that dungeon, but someone else had actually put it in the chat. So I guess I was the only noob. They were like, "Hey, like grab this. What do you have to do? Like grab you have to eat something."
Yeah, so there's little seeds on the ground, like pods or something. It's the only way to dispel the debuffs it puts on you.
Right. Yeah. But at first when I unlocked it, I was like, oh crap. This is the one that Pat talked about all this time. I was like, oh my God, I'm so friggin' scared. But yeah, I got through it though. It went pretty well.
The number of times I've gotten into that dungeon and there's like one newbie. I've had people like there was one newbie in there and he was like, oh, this is a strange looking dungeon. What's it like? And the other DPS just goes, welcome to hell.
Let me guess. You're that DPS.
No, I was the tank.
Oh, wow.
And the new guy was like, it can't be that bad. And all three of us at the same time just responded, yes. Apparently, it's one of the dungeons that transitioned over from Final Fantasy XI.
Really?
Yeah, which is why the mechanics just feel a little bit out of place for the rest of 14.
Okay. Got you.
What do you think of the class changes in 14?
The new ones?
Yeah, well, I mean, just the changes.
Oh, you mean like what they updated and all that stuff?
Yeah.
I really haven't looked too much into it, but I saw that you and Blake were talking it over.
The summoner class has dramatically changed.
What happened with it?
Well, so before you had a pet that followed you everywhere, and the type of pet you had made a difference. Like you could summon the Titan pet, and it would essentially be a tank for you. Ifrit would be more straight up damage, and Garuda would be a sort of distance DPS. Now you have one pet, and you use summons like temporarily. Think of like summoning in Final Fantasy VII versus Final Fantasy X, where the summons actually fight alongside you versus they just appear, do their attack, and vanish.
Gotcha.
And when you summon them, depending on whether it's fire, earth, or wind, your attacks take on that elemental attribute. So when you summon earth or wind, you get instant attacks, but they're not as powerful. When you summon earth, you get 4 attacks of medium strength that are instant cast. When you summon wind, you get 4 attacks of kind of low strength that are also instant cast. When you summon Ifrit, you only get 2 attacks, and they have cast times, but they hit like trucks. There's a certain rhythm and flow to it, and I appreciate that. I know you get more summons further on, like you can summon Bahamut and such. I'm just not high enough level with my summoner yet. But that's the DPS I'm going to be leveling, because it's more fun to play than it used to be. Okay.
Did you main summoner? I don't remember you doing summoner.
When it came to DPS, yeah, that was my main, was a summoner.
Really?
Most of the time I main tank. I have a high level summoner as well.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, I guess I'd never noticed it and everything.
I always
that's cool. Yeah, you always did tank, yeah.
But when we played together, one of us was tanking, so when you were tanking, I'd switch to my summoner.
That makes sense.
To my white mage if we really needed someone to do it, but I'm not a great healer, so.
Yeah, I understand. But yeah, actually I was thinking so I saw the thing in the group chat and everything about like either Saturday or Sunday. I can't do anything Saturday, but I might be able to do something Sunday evening if you guys are up for it.
Yeah, should be able to.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that'll be fun.
I know once I get further into the game, I want to try out Dark Knight as a tank.
Ooh, yeah.
They look real cool.
I've heard. I heard they're great tanks.
I also want to try Gunbreaker. I mean, tanking is my favorite thing to do. So.
Gunbreaker is what one of the things I want to do, but first I want to get Dragoon.
Dude, Dragoon looks so good. I want to level a Bard. I just want to take part in these like 3 a.m. Concerts that happen in the middle of Limsa.
Yes.
Like you just go running through the city in the middle of the night, and there's this whole crazy concert going on with a bunch of Lalafels dancing, and you're just like, what is even happening?
The most amazing thing ever. That's what's happening.
I do have a bone to pick with Square Enix.
What? Is it their login times?
It's not the login times. Like, honestly, yeah, they need to do work on their servers, but that's whatever.
Yeah.
The issue is that I've gotten booted from the game 3 times last night. And
you did?
Yeah, and every time I tried to log back in, and it was like, your character wasn't logged out correctly. And I'm like, no, you don't say. It's because you kicked me. And then I couldn't log back in without restarting the game, which meant I had to sit through the queue all over again.
Oh man, that sucks. Wait, so
Thankfully, there were
what
only
were you
like
playing on? Were you playing on PlayStation or PC?
PC.
Okay. I don't know how true this is. I'm just saying I've heard a lot more people getting kicked off and booted from playing on PC versus on console for whatever reason.
Maggie was downstairs playing on the PS5, and she didn't get booted once.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah, like we were literally a case study on the topic.
Yeah, because the same thing. Well, Lisa never got booted. It's just that, well, she didn't get booted once she was in the game. Once she was in the game, it was fine. But in terms of being booted or the connection being lost as she was trying to queue in, yeah, that happened quite a few times, and she was playing on the laptop.
I kept getting kicked from like cutscenes. I don't know why.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
it was.
weird.
I don't know if my connection was dropping or if something else was happening, but I am
Yeah.
not a fan.
They did say though that a few days ago that people who, well, basically everyone, that everyone will get like a free 7 day sort of thing. I don't know exactly
They
how it's
upgraded it
work.
to 2 weeks. I saw that release
Oh,
this morning.
really?
If you have an active account as of the 21st, so 5 days from now,
Mm.
you will get a free 2 week period.
Well, that's good because I do know there's a lot of people who have been who bought the expansion and they just or just they've just been wanting to play,
Yeah.
they're trying to drop it online and they just can't. So it's like they're not using their membership. So
Yeah.
I give them props for at least trying to address that in some sort of way, or just but other than just by saying, well, screw it, like.
No, I agree with you because I mean that first night I sat down to play, it took me 2.5 hours to get in.
What was the highest queue? What was your highest queue
Uh,
you've seen?
40, about 4,800, maybe 4,781, something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. Same for me. I think I had logged in once. I logged in once after 5 o'clock Eastern time, and I never logged back in at that time again
Yeah.
because that queue was at like 4,980. So it's practically like 5,000 people in line.
Like I
And
logged in, and the thing was, our server was not one of the most populated servers when we started
exactly.
playing.
Oh my God. I can only imagine how horrible it must be for like the big ones out there.
Like Balrog.
Yes. Ugh.
Oof, man. And the thing is, so many. I've noticed a change in people's attitude in the game, and I'm like, oh, it's all the WoW players coming over. Because Final Fantasy players tend to be pretty friendly. The
They
WoW
are. Yeah.
players are not.
Oh no. Yeah.
And that's as someone who played WoW for years.
for sure. They now, yeah. Just stereotypically, they aren't known to be the friendliest people to play with. So yeah, I feel you. Um, I think I've noticed a little bit of that during when I've been playing, but because all the WoW players have been coming on, a lot of them are still in like the earlier expansions.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like I ran across them as much in Endwalker because I don't think they've really made it that far up
I
here.
haven't
Not many of them
played with
have.
them, but I see them in novice chat.
Oh really?
Dear Lord.
Oh
That
God.
whole chat is like a free for all.
Oh no.
It's crazy.
Jeez. But yeah, but so far I'd say at least from my experience with playing with the players on Endwalker, it's all been very very good and everything. Yeah, it's been good. But yeah, that's pretty much all that I've been playing. Endwalker. What have you been playing, Pat? Oh,
Well,
yeah, go ahead.
Endwalker as well. What were you gonna say?
Well, I was gonna bridge it to Halo. I was just gonna say that I only played an hour, but I figured you were gonna say Halo next. So
Yeah. Well, I was gonna add one last thing to Endwalker.
sure,
Is
sure.
that it's a well written, not I mean just Final Fantasy in general. It's a well written story, especially once you get past the first base game, which was
Right.
written like Shakespeare on crack. But once you get past it, there's some emotionally charged scenes and really intense, heavy cutscenes.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite pieces of equipment is just a high-end helmet that I've what's it called? I put the skin on it, made it look like something else.
Oh, the glamour.
Transmogrification.
Yeah.
Yeah. The glamour
Mm-hmm.
of the stuffed chocobo head.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, I just, you've got this tank decked out in full night gear and a giant stuffed chocobo head on. It's very hard for those scenes to have that same level of emotional impact when you pans over to my character and I'm supposed to look intense and it's just the chocobo going, yep. They're like, oh, this person just died. It's sad. And there's the chocobo just bobbing up and down. Like,
where did you get that? I want one.
I think I got it from the Gold Saucer.
Okay. Dope.
I think, if I remember correctly.
There's some. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I discovered something new there. I don't know if it's always been there, but I don't remember it when I went there last time. They have like a platform, like multiplayer thing there.
What?
Yeah. It's like one of the mini games. And you play with everyone. I next time that we're all on, like on Sunday or whatnot, like we all need to do it. But it's like it's a platformer, and it's like the goal is to pretty much jump across. You have all these multiple paths you can jump across, and you can collect tokens as you're jumping across them. And it's like the goal is to get to the end of the stage and stuff. But if you take the path that is much harder to sort of platform on, you get more higher rated like tokens and stuff. So you can get to the end of the goal, but you may not actually still like come like first place or whatnot, just because you may have taken all the easy paths and stuff. But that's all it is. And I was just like, wow, this is actually kind of fun. Like
I've never seen this before ever.
Yeah. It was fun. Next time we're on, we'll all have to do it together.
Yeah, dude, that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, other than Endwalker, I'll touch lightly on this. I started playing Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart.
Ooh.
I'm like an hour in, not very far at all. I just got past the opening scene and started exploring the second world. Like,
yeah,
the very first, when it's kind of like go do your thing, I'm in exploring that factory, like the optional.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at. I'm barely into it. But
I got you.
I'm liking it, and the controller just feels wild to me.
Doesn't it? Oh my god!
Like I'm sitting there, I was like, "Is the game lagging? Is my controller lagging? This doesn't." I mean, it was trippy how much the controller responds to what's happening in the game.
For sure, man.
Like when my gun ran out of ammo and the controller was just kind of doing this weird thing, I'm like, "What is happening?" But yeah, beyond that, it's been Halo.
Yes.
Halo Infinite came out. The multiplayer Abomination came out last month on the 15th. So it's been a full month since that came out. Actually, on Tuesday, they added in all the specific playlists like Slayer and stuff. So I haven't played multiplayer since then.
Okay.
But when they dropped the campaign, I started playing it, and I played all the way through it.
So, what's the verdict?
I'm mixed on it.
Aww.
So the gameplay is fun.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong. The grappling hook is a brilliant addition. Like, oh my gosh, is that a great accessory. It made the gameplay feel so fluid. Half the time I didn't even use my gun. I fully powered up the grappling hook, and at its max like upgrade. Yeah, that's the thing you can do in Halo Infinite. You can upgrade your gear.
Nice.
So you've got your grappling hook, your shield, which you can upgrade to be more shieldy. I guess it offers more protection, more shield capacity before it goes down. Then you've got the threat sensor, which I'm sure you've seen in multiplayer. It's just that like beacon that pulses. That thing actually has a very important role in campaign because when the elites turn invisible, holy crap, are they invisible? And then you've got a thruster, and you've got what's the other thing? There's another thing. I'm blanking on it. I didn't use it ever.
Okay.
But I fully upgraded the grappling hook, and it like shocks enemies and stuns them when you hit them with it.
Nice.
I would just zoom around the room because one of the upgrades is lowering the recharge time and then adding the stun to it. So I would just zoom around the room attacking enemies. I like the open world aspect. It's definitely a new direction for Halo. I don't like that I can't repeat campaign quests because there are items and collectibles that you can miss
Mm-hmm.
and you can't repeat that level. Apparently,
Mm-hmm.
level select is coming,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just not there yet. Um, but the grappling hook's great. The forward operating bases that you can capture and rescue, once you unlock a certain number of them and you get valor points, they start having greater and greater abilities. You can pick up different equipment, different vehicles, everything, summon it into you there. My biggest issue is with the story.
Really?
Yeah, I've been a hardcore Halo fan for a long time, and part of that has been just it was a brilliant plot line. I honestly don't think there's any salvaging it at this point. Um,
Hmm.
Without spoiling anything, I will say the story went off the rails in Halo 4. Uh, the the decisions they made with the story and plotline in Halo 4 have carried over since then. It was
Mm-hmm.
bad then, it's still bad now.
Hmm.
Like the story's fine. I just think the direction is completely wrong. They did things I would, as a storyteller myself, I would never have done.
Gotcha.
And I think it just doesn't sit well with me. It feels like they're undoing or they're trying to add characterization where there was none before. And some of it is going in defiance of the established canon of the series.
Mm-hmm.
They say that the main campaign is about 30 hours long. It is not. It is not. I don't know how much time I spent playing it, but it was probably 15 to 20 hours.
Okay.
I will say this, it's hard. It's so much harder than I
Mm.
expected it to be. I played on normal mode because I was like, I just want to breeze through this. I'll play on the higher difficulties later. Dear Lord, no. What normal mode in Halo Infinite is like heroic in any other game. Like it's definitely a step up in difficulty. It's way tougher. Um, and there's also the map is basically you can break it down into 4 sections, and one section of the map has campaign quests in it that you get like teleported to that you have to do. But there's nothing else up there, and it makes it feel very empty. It's like they just ignored this whole quadrant of the map, and it feels like
Mm.
a lot of content was cut that should have been in there.
Mm.
So, I mean, all in all, it was an enjoyable experience. It's a good game. I mean, I'm not at all saying it's a bad game.
Mm-hmm.
There's just a lot of things that, as a lifelong Halo fan, didn't sit well with me. And I mean, a
Mm.
lot of the game, people have been praising it, talking about how great it is. And mechanically, yeah, it feels good. There's nothing quite like boarding an enemy vehicle with a grappling hook. But I don't know, just the gunplay still feels off to me. I feel like the Master Chief is a lot squishier than he used to be. It's a lot easier for him to die.
Mm.
And just again, the plot is it's all over the place, and I don't like it. Like they introduced new characters to the game, and they really grew on me. I liked them,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel like this is almost like a soft reboot of Halo. Like
Mm.
they're trying to go with an entirely new plot line. And I'll say this: the campaign. I know Halo Infinite's supposed to be like a games as a service thing, so I don't know if that means they're just going to be releasing expansions and DLC. The game is left wide open at the end for a sequel.
Mm.
And like it's very, very clear they expect to release more story content later.
Mm.
But that's pretty much all I've played. Like I binged Halo Infinite.
Mm.
And when I was before I beat it, it was all I could think about because I was like, I have to see where this goes and what happens with it. But it was not as satisfying as Halo 3 or before was. Halo 4 was it was I wasn't crazy about it at all. Halo 5 we don't talk about. And yeah. Halo
Okay.
So apparently some of the plot, I did remember reading this, the plot points in Infinite actually derive from Halo Wars, the RTS game,
Hmm.
which I didn't know, and it explains why I'm like, who the heck are these guys and why do they
Mm-hmm.
matter? Because I was like, it's been a while since I played Halo 5, but I would have remembered this, and I had no idea who some of the bad guys were.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
it's interesting.
Okay, so it sounds to me like the game is a good game to you. as a Halo
Yes.
fan. It's just that in terms of the plot structure and where it's going, you're just not a big fan of that.
Yes. From a gameplay standpoint, it's fun. I think it's going to be a really good co-op game. I think there's a lot of potential and opportunity there.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't feel like Halo to me, if that makes sense. Um, it has the bones of Halo, but it feels like Halo in. It feels like a game made 10 years from now that took inspiration from Halo. It doesn't feel like a mainline Halo game. It feels like more like Apex Legends or something.
What would make it feel more like a Halo game to you?
To be honest, the Master Chief should be slower and things should feel heavier. It's
Mm.
too fluid, which I get that's the evolution that people want, especially in the age of like Call of Duty games and Apex Legends and Titanfall, but it feels like those games. It doesn't feel like a Halo game. I'm used
Mm.
to things feeling a little bit clunky.
So it sounds to me like you kind of like the playing as the Master Chief, that is like the big, bulky, kind of like unstoppable force in a
Yeah,
sense. Whereas this one, he seems a bit more frail.
he does. He feels about. Did you ever play ODST?
Yeah, I have.
He feels like the main character in ODST, a Marine without armor.
Mm.
And also, the enemies in this game are not as afraid of the Master Chief. Like,
Mm.
I enjoyed in the previous games, I thought it was hysterical. You would pop up and the enemies would scream and run.
Yeah.
It still happens if you surprise them, though, because I
Mm-hmm.
use the grappling hook, and if you start to learn how to use it, you can get momentum and like grapple the edge of a cliff and fly up it past enemies.
Mm-hmm.
I surprised enemies by shooting up the cliffside right beside them, and I hear a grunt go, "Oh my god, we're dead!" And I was like, "Yeah, you are."
Yeah.
Um, yeah, just story structure, the direction they're taking it.
Because I can kind of see a little bit of what you're talking about. I'm not a huge Halo fan. I did grow up playing a few of the games, so I wouldn't say I'm nearly as deep as you are, or anyone else for that matter. But I can kind of see that. Do you kind of get the feeling that like the enemies kind of treat Master Chief as just like kind of just like another Spartan?
Yeah, I do. And the thing
Mm.
about it is, canonically speaking, he is not another Spartan.
Mm.
He is from the original group, all of which are dead, given the exception of five, which are not in the games. They've never been in the games. They are just they're stuck in an extra dimensional plane, but that's from the books.
Mm-hmm.
So the Master Chief is like one of the original Spartans that they spent 20 years creating. The Spartan 4s are not nearly as powerful and augmented. They just have the suits and the training. But the Master Chief
Mm.
is the one who literally has his body modified, just like
Okay.
all of the original group was. So he is stronger than the rest of them.
You know what? It kind of seems to me like the excuse me, like the heavier sort of feeling for playing as a Master Chief kind of feels like you would get a little bit more of that feeling with playing the new Doom games.
You know, I've played the Doom games. It does kind of feel like that. But think
Yeah.
about how he feels in the Master Chief collection versus in Infinite.
Mm.
Now, again, speaking from the standpoint of like how they're portrayed, yeah, the new game is absolutely correct. He's fast, he's quick, he's quiet. He's like a giant space marine ninja.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's absolutely terrifying to any enemies.
Mm.
But I guess it's just because I've spent, 20 years playing a version of him that feels like I'm attempting to steer a brick around the map. So it doesn't feel like a Halo game, even though it's more accurate to the lore.
Okay. Okay. Well, yeah, I guess this is just kind of one of those things then. I suppose. Do you think you'll ever get used to it? Or like are you are you willing to kind of like go with this change that they've done?
I'm willing to give it a try if 343 owns up and fixes their mistakes.
Mhm.
So they've made a lot of excuses, especially with regard to the multiplayer and the fact that they released what's essentially an unfinished product. It doesn't have co-op. It doesn't have level replay. It doesn't have forge mode. Like, dear Lord, guys, you took an extra year of development and you still weren't done. What have you been doing for 6 years?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's not enough content in that campaign to have made it up. And what really pisses me off about it, aside from my complaints that the multiplayer version is lacking so many of the iconic weapons and so many of the iconic maps, is the fact that the only part of this game that's complete is the store, the cosmetic store. It's clear that their focus was on milking every cent they could out of players and not on making the game the best it could be. They said you would be able to unlock armor pieces for multiplayer in campaign. You can't. You can find a lot of armor lockers, but it's all like emblems and stuff that go on your gear, not literally Spartan suits.
Not the actual pieces, just stuff that put on top of them.
Yeah,
okay.
It's not like a different chest piece or a different helmet. It's just, oh, I can put this logo on now that I didn't have before. And I don't care. I picked my logo out from the beginning, and it's probably never going to change. I mean, it's the same one, basically the same logo I've used since I played Halo 2.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's just the fact that they're charging real money just to make your Spartan the color red. It's money grabbing, and it's kind of disgusting.
Fair enough. I mean, I can see that. Maybe I don't know, man. Maybe it's just because I'm so far away from like the Halo sort of like games in that sense. Like I understand like coming from. I mean, I can understand to this point. I can understand to the point where it's like you're playing a game and it in like the original games come with all the content that basically you need. Like I can level with that. Like I know how that feels to have like to play like a previous game and have all the stuff and then play like the newest game in the franchise or something like that, and then for them to charge like an arm and a leg for just the most basic of enhancements and customizations. That was the whole reason that I walked away from playing Dead or Alive. That fighting game series is my favorite of all time. And when DOA 6 came out, and on day one they had pretty much $1,000 worth of DLC out the gate launch and everything, I was just like, I can't do this. And all the modes weren't there, and I was like, yeah, I can't and stuff. So so going to Halo and stuff, like I don't feel it for Halo, but I do understand what it feels like to kind of to be, you know, wrapped around something for so long, especially a video game series you really have grown up with and you've really enjoyed, and for them to all of a sudden pull the rug out from underneath you and be like, oh, you know, all that cool stuff that, you know, actually came with the game like years ago. Yeah. Now we're going to charge you money for it and everything. So yeah. There's not really an excuse for that. I suppose. I don't know. I guess the thing is, it's just like, if you don't, for me, Halo, I'm not really big into customization anyway. Honestly, I just play the game just to play the game. But I understand that for many people, Halo fans like yourself, like you enjoy that. You enjoy customizing your Spartan or your character or whatever and stuff like that. And also all the, not just that, but also the modes that have always come with it. You know, where it's like the Forge or the local multiplayer for the campaign and everything.
Even from that standpoint, the fact that they launched the multiplayer with these hyper-specific challenges, like get 5 kills with this gun, when you couldn't choose the map you were playing on, so you had no idea if you could even get the gun or not. Yeah. And then they were like, Slayer is too hard to implement. And we're like, it's the most basic game mode of all of Halo, and you can't put it in? It's ridiculous. It's like, who is calling the shots over there? And they posted a whole thing on the Halo subreddit, and they're like, well, we don't like how we're getting attacked by the community and the fans. And it's like, suck it up. You put out a subpar product and you expect everyone to sit back and be okay with it? No. Yeah. So, yeah, I've said it before. I think passing the torch to 343 Studios was a mistake. and I don't think it's one that's ever going to be fixed. One last note on the campaign.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's getting weaker and weaker as it goes on, and I understand they have to keep it going if they're going to keep making Halo games. But I also feel like for the sake of the story, kill it, end it. Not every story needs to continue indefinitely. Sometimes it's okay for a story to come to an official canonical end.
What do you mean by that?
So, like I said, they left the campaign story wide open for a sequel. And I'm not talking just a sequel. I feel like they're setting it up for like a whole other trilogy or more games.
Oh, okay. Now I see what you're saying. Okay.
Like, imagine if Star Wars had ended and that was the end of it, and we had never introduced Rey. How much better would the world be? Halo is about to make the same mistake. They're going to introduce the Rey of the Halo universe. Let's not do this.
I completely agree with you on that. So basically what you're saying is that instead of trying to set up this big massive story that can take like 2 to 3 games, which would be like over like a decade of worth of games, just have one good story that, you know, has an opening and a conclusion by the end of it.
Yeah, I mean, look, games today, in the past you would have a game and you would have maybe 1 or 2, maybe 3 games in the franchise, and then that would be it. It would end. And after that, the studio would make spin-offs or side stories or something like that.
Yeah.
Today, every studio just wants it to continue forever.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't have to do that. And I mean, for multiplayer modes, sure. Let's face it, that's what most Halo fans are in for. They want the multiplayer.
Yeah.
But for those of us that love the story and the plot line, don't murder the story through the death of 1,000 cuts by not just letting it come to its natural ending when it needs to end. Like,
I feel you.
There are so many side stories in the Halo universe that we could tap into. The different attacks on the colonies by the Covenant at the beginning of the war, all of the backstory. Give us a game that's just Arby, just the Arbiter. That just from the Covenant standpoint, let him be waging a crusade to defend his planet. Let us play as a grunt fighting off the initial Covenant invasion. There's so much we could do with it that doesn't require stretching the Master Chief like trying to put a square peg through a very, very tiny hole.
Well, I think some people would argue that when they tried to go away from Master Chief with Halo 5, that really screwed up the series.
Well, yeah, but at this point, they're putting a Band-Aid on a much, much larger problem. Like somebody's cut their leg off and someone's like, oh, here's a little bit of Blistex. It'll solve the problem. Like what they've done is not fixing the mistakes they made. It's worsening them.
Yeah. And I agree with you in terms of like story and stuff like that. Like not everything needs to be like this huge sort of saga and everything of things and, you know, what's to come and stuff. Like sometimes just having a simple story is fine. Like recently, what was it? The guy who did God of War, the new one for PlayStation 4. I think his name is Corey. He just a few weeks ago he just said, "Hey, this next God of War, that's going to be the end. Like that's going to be the end of this this Norse mythology sort of series." And at first everyone was kind of like why? Like you did like 3 games like with the whole Greek mythology and stuff previously. Like why are you just cutting it down just 2? And it's just like, but then, you know, and I kind of thought that way as well, because I was like, oh man, like I feel like we're like it's gonna rush everything and stuff. But then I kind of thought about it and I was like, well, no, actually this is good, because games are like you said, like they take a lot longer to make and everything. And I don't want to wait like another 6 years, you know, so like 18 years just to finish a video game series, like a trilogy and everything. Like I don't know if I want to wait that long and stuff. So yeah, just have a concrete story and end it. Maybe that's what game developers need to start doing from now on.
Yeah.
When they're making games, maybe just instead of giving us this big overarching story, just give us a really good supreme story, and just run it through from beginning to end, and you can just cut it off there. And if you want to make another story, then fine. But it doesn't have to be this huge continuation of what's come before.
I just don't want, like, yeah, I agree. I don't want to see Halo Infinite, like, whatever Halo Infinite 7, when it comes to an end, I don't want it to be with some random Marine burying Master Chief's helmet in the desert.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't want to see a repeat of the ending of the Skywalker saga. Like,
yeah.
ugh.
I'm kind of hoping that they're going to do the same thing with the Final Fantasy 7. You know, because as you already know, like that whole game was just spent basically within the first 3 hours of the actual game. So I'm just like, I hope for this next game, you guys should probably like just go ahead and just finish it. Like make a part 1 and a part 2.
I heard it was going to be like 5 parts.
At first, I heard that, but I'm just like, I don't know if Square Enix can afford to do that.
Yeah, I don't think fans are going to pay $300 to. Actually, at this point, it would be. Crap, I can't math. $350 because all the games are 70 now.
And considering again how long these games take to make and stuff, like you're going to be pouring in like a lot of money to update the graphics for when the next gen console comes out, just to keep that series going. I'm just like, guys, just go ahead and just make a part 2, do what you need to. You can still have a solid game and everything. It doesn't need to be perfect, but just make a part 2, end it there. You know how to end it. You already know it.
They're going to release part 3 and it's just going to be the fight against Sephiroth. You know what part I'm weirdly excited to play in the remake? The fight against the Midgar Zalam. The weird serpent thing right outside of Midgar.
Oh, the one that like chases you.
Yeah.
Like, you're like running, it like chases you everywhere. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I want to fight that thing. I remember it was terrifying when you first encountered it, and then at max level I just went back and slapped it around a lot.
I can't remember. Didn't like Sephiroth like ended up like pretty much crucifying it to like a tree or something? He like
no,
ended
that
up
was
killing
Aerith.
Oh, that was Aerith? Okay, I guess.
No, Sephiroth crucified Aerith. That's what I think. And listen, if any of you listening call that a spoiler, come on. It's a 20-year-old game. Aerith dying is like the most well-known point in any video game ever.
And yet, when it happens, I will freaking gush.
Oh, yeah, no, we all will. I think for many of us, that was the first real heartbreak we ever felt.
Right. Like my first real heartbreak wasn't like a girl; it was over Aerith dying. Like it was.
Is it bad that my immediate response was like, "Wait, is she actually dead? All of my materia
just gone. I don't miss Aerith. I just miss all the materia she was carrying."
Like, yeah, this is sad, but use a Phoenix down, guys. Come on.
Well, there go our heals.
Yeah, for real.
Oh man, but yeah, man. Well, that's good. I mean, I'm glad you at least had a good time with Halo. It sucks that it's not going in a direction that you want it to go in, but I don't know. I guess that's. Let me ask you one question.
Yep.
Did you not feel like that? All the negative stuff you kind of were thinking in terms of like, say, the games or the service as a service stuff. Do you not think that maybe did you not kind of see the writing on the wall when they kind of announced that it was going free to play? Because
as soon as they said free to play, I'm like, this is gonna suck.
Oh, okay.
Free to play is a death sentence for a game franchise.
Yeah,
it is. I mean, in most cases, Path of Exile is free to play and it's still going, and it's a fantastic Diablo clone.
Well, I wouldn't say it's like the death of a franchise. I guess it depends how you look at it. For a Halo fan, yeah, it probably is the death of a franchise.
Yeah.
But for someone who may not like have access to like, I don't know, like an Xbox or something, and it's gone free to play, I don't know, to them it might bring more life in terms of, I guess, player base and stuff. I mean, it hasn't stopped other games like Fortnite or something.
You know, if I could have a wish as far as Halo, it's that we would retcon the series back to Halo 4 and make a new Halo 4 that actually made sense.
Hmm.
Like, continue from there. Let's not do the nonsense that we've done so far. Halo 3, almost every fan will agree, was like the peak of the series.
Oh yeah,
And
I really enjoyed Halo 3.
I mean, I preferred 2 actually, but
Mhm.
that was, again, that's a lot of my nostalgia is tied up into playing Halo 2 and being in a competitive clan and everything.
Mhm.
I mean, I competed in tournaments in Halo 2, so
Nice.
and I was good. I will say this: Halo Infinite does have really fun gameplay. The multiplayer is
Mhm.
great. It doesn't quite feel the same, but that match that we all played, where it was like instant spawns, all rockets, that was
That was
insanity.
so fun.
Like I didn't even play. I would spawn and pull the trigger and die. That's all that happened.
You
I got at one point,
it
and I was
was
like,
like
"It's been 12 seconds, and I'm still alive. What's happening?"
it's like that. What's that one movie that with what's his name in it? Tom Cruise is like the live die repeat.
Yeah, and somehow Blake still won. I don't understand.
I have no idea.
I remember
The-
it was so funny because Blake's like, "I don't get mad at Halo," and then a few seconds later, they're screaming.
Oh yeah, that was fun. That was super
Yeah,
fun.
it was good. It's a fun, good multiplayer game, and the mechanics are great. It's just such a weird shift. It's a hard transition for a Halo fan,
Yeah.
and I mean, for me, I've seen a lot of other Halo fans that disagree with me, but
Mhm.
for me, it was a hard shift. And while
Yeah.
I enjoy it mechanically, it doesn't feel like a Halo game. So it's weird to say I'm
Mhm.
very torn. Like, yeah, it's a really fun game. It just doesn't
Mhm.
make me think Halo when I play it.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So
Maybe. Well, hold up. Well, that's the reason is well. I I would like to say maybe the reason for that is because maybe Halo has always been this way, in terms of since 4. Maybe the reason it doesn't feel as much as Halo to you is because I take it you really didn't play that much Halo 4 multiplayer, did you?
nor 5, no.
Nor
I
5.
in
Yeah.
Master Chief Collection, it's Halo 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, well, there you go. So I guess that's the thing. It's kind of like maybe for Halo fans who have been consistently playing like through 4 and through 5, maybe they've gotten used to the Chief, being this way, and maybe it's just now because you've been playing a bit more of it than compared to 4 and 5. Maybe now it's just hitting.
You know what? You might be right. Because Halo 5 had some weird mechanics, like you could charge up a melee attack from the side.
Yeah. That was
Yeah,
weird.
yeah, I did not like that at all. Although it was a lot of fun watching someone try to do that and sniping them before they could pull off the attack.
Fair
It's
enough.
very satisfying. You
Yeah.
might be right. And I mean, playing it with friends, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Mhm.
And I am glad that Halo's getting such a huge player base. Maybe this will bring more players to Master Chief Collection after they try out Infinite multiplayer and they're like, ooh,
Yeah.
let's go check out this
It
other
just might.
thing that's on Game Pass.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
will say this: I'm glad I have spent $0 on Infinite. Like I don't want to pay for the campaign. The state is Infinite. Game Pass. Okay, you know what? I spent like $8 to buy the Battle Pass.
Yeah. Yeah. Blake did the same thing.
Yeah. Well, my sister was playing it, and she was like, "Do you want to join me?" And I was like, "Yeah, okay." So I bought the Battle Pass to play with her and try to like match our progression and such.
You have a sister?
Yeah.
You never told me you had a sister.
Yeah.
Oh, how come I've never seen her?
I mean, I don't know. She just moved back home from out west recently, so she's been living far away for like the past 7 years.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Ah, I didn't know that. I thought you
Yeah.
were. I always thought you were an only child.
No.
Oh.
I have one sibling. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. Cool. Cool. Well,
We don't
congratulations.
talk very much.
Yeah, you've never talked to her. You've never mentioned her before. At least not that I can remember.
Well, there's like an 8-year age difference. So
Ah, okay.
yeah,
A bit older.
pretty. Yeah, I was the much older sibling. So
And she's still cranking out Halo.
yeah,
Nice.
yeah, she plays PC and was just owning me because mouse and keyboard.
That's cool.
Yep.
Well, all right. Um, Well, oh man, like we have a lot to talk about. Let's get on to
Yeah, let's dive on into the next part.
yeah. I'll try to make it quick, but I think the other main thing we wanted to mention tonight was PlayStation's rumored speaking of Game Pass, their rumored PlayStation Game Pass. Um, which I think it's looking like it's pretty likely because they're saying that it's supposed to be coming out sometime in spring from what I remember reading. So Pat, well, as a person who is a fanatical fan of Xbox Game Pass, how do you feel about PlayStation doing their own thing?
I think it's the best decision they could make. Game Pass is the reason Xbox has been trouncing PlayStation. I
Hmm.
mean, yes, Sony has all of its hardcore fans, and it's
Me?
selling well. But no one can deny the value of Game Pass. And
Oh no.
Sony having their own version is a brilliant idea. It's absolutely something they need to do.
Okay,
It
yeah,
would let me play a lot of games that I might not play otherwise.
agreed. I definitely agree with that statement. I think having a PlayStation sort of Game Pass would be great. Um, what I would like to see. Let me put it this way. I would like to see the same treatment that Xbox gives Game Pass in its games. I'd like to see that same treatment done with Sony and their games
Yeah,
and stuff. So
upscale, better frame rates,
exactly. Yep. All of
modernized
that.
controls.
Yep.
And I want to see old PlayStation games too, not just like new
Yes.
games. Give me PS1 titles.
PS1, exactly. Give me Parappa the Rapper.
Yes. You know what? Put all of DDR on there and give me a freaking dance mat for the PS5.
It could happen. Who knows?
It
It,
could.
it could happen. It could happen.
What would be your wish list? Like your top 3 games that you want?
um, wow. Let's see. Well, I already mentioned Parappa the Rapper. Honestly, I already have that on my PlayStation 4, but it's just nice just to have it in the backlog as always.
Yeah.
Um, I'd say yeah, a lot of I'd say I would really value some PS1 classic games because there are some PlayStation games that I haven't had the chance to play. Um, shoot. I never got around to playing all of Siphon Filter, and I've kind of always wanted to try that out. Um, let's see. Obviously, throw the Tomb Raider games in there. Throw in Tony Hawk Pro Skater. Throw in those games in there. Throw in the Spider-Man game. Did anyone
Yeah.
play the Spider-Man game? I don't know if anyone played that, but
Wasn't it
that game was
like
awesome.
second or the third one that was just had incredible web mechanics for swinging around?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yep. Throw in that. Um, yeah, I want to see a lot of clash. Throw in Legend of Dragoon. Throw that in
That's
there.
on my top 3 list.
Okay. Well, yeah. Well, what about you? What games do you want on there?
Chrono Cross.
Oh yeah, Chrono Cross. Yeah.
Chrono Cross, Legend of Dragoon, Mega Man Legends.
Oh,
That was such a freaking good game, and I cannot find my disc. I don't know where
huh.
it's at, but it's so good, and I
Mm.
want to replay it. Don't get me
Okay.
wrong, it's probably horribly clunky to play at this point. Like a 3D, almost, twin stick shooter style game in the same
Yeah.
way that Halo operates, just Mega Man.
Uh-huh.
Boy, it was rough to play back then. I can only imagine what it's like now. Throw in Xenogears. This is the
Xenogears. Yes.
perfect opportunity to make the PS5 just the ultimate JRPG machine.
Yes. Throw in Xenosaga. I lost a lot of hours playing that game.
Ooh, yeah,
So many cutscenes.
Xenosaga, um, Xenogears. Put Final
Xenogears. Yep.
Fantasy Tactics on there.
Ooh, yeah. That game is super hard.
It's so hard. I played the GBA version, which is actually a little bit easier.
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, I've played that one too. I actually prefer the GBA version personally.
Yeah, I do too. I just
Yeah.
don't have it in me to play like these crazy difficult games. You can put all the old school Final Fantasies on there. I mean, yes, they're
Yeah.
available everywhere, but I mean, I've never played 9.
Mm. Yeah.
And I mean, considering it's a PlayStation, We keep thinking in terms of PS1 games, but there's so much you can do with PS2 as well. Like
Yeah,
PS2 was the height of JRPGs.
yeah, I agree. A lot of people are fans of Dot Hack. I'd say throw those games on
Yes.
there.
Holy
Yeah.
crap, yes. I spent so many hours playing the first one, and that's basically it. I can't afford the other ones. Like the third one in the Dot Hack franchise, it's like
Hmm.
$1,000.
Holy crap!
It's insane, man. Let me see.
Jeez,
Let me
$1,000. Yeah,
let me do a quick search here. Dot Hack pricing chart. Um okay, maybe I overestimated it. Wow, there's a lot of Dot Hack games I've never even seen. Oh no, never mind. These aren't Dot Hack games. These are. Why is it giving me Yu-Gi-Oh cards? Okay, so the most expensive one I'm looking at right now is Dot Hack Quarantine, which I believe is the fourth game, and that's $200.
Hmm.
But it's not showing all of them because they are expensive. Yeah, okay. Dot Hack Quarantine's like $344 on eBay. Oh, here's one that's sealed in box for $999 on eBay.
Oh my god.
It's crazy how expensive they are. But you know what?
Mm.
You bring PS2 games over, you get Persona 3.
Oh yeah, I'm down for that.
You
Yep.
get Grandia, you can get the Shin Megami Tensei games.
Yep.
So many. So much
Yeah,
potential.
I'd say even throw in some games that weren't localized here
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
everything. That'd be a great thing to do.
Throw in, okay, here's what they need to do when they launch it. All of the Sly Cooper games.
Oh
All
yeah, for
the
sure.
Jack and Daxter games. All of the
Yep.
Ratchet and Clank games. All
Yep.
of the Spyro games. Hit all of the PlayStation heavy hitters.
Yep.
I
Completely
mean,
agree.
it would be
Mhm.
absolutely worth it just for
All
that.
the Crash Bandicoot games. Oh yes.
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 Dude, I want this so bad.
That's
I want
what I'm
this.
saying. If this is real, then yeah, this would be the great. But what we need to talk about though is how much would you pay for it though?
Make it the same as Game Pass.
All right, so like different tiers, sort of things, like I don't know, maybe like a PlayStation bundle with the PlayStation Plus to do this ultimate sort of Game Pass thing, like what Xbox does.
Well, Xbox is on PC and most PlayStation games are not.
Mm.
So that's the biggest thing. Like PlayStation should aim for a combined, PS Now or no, PS,
Plus, yeah.
yes, PS Plus, thank you, with whatever the Game Pass is going to be called.
Oh
And
yeah, that's what I just said.
oh, okay, yeah, yeah. They could
Yeah.
absolutely say just call it PS Pass.
PS Pass, yeah, that works.
Done with it.
PP.
EP, yeah. No, PSP.
PSP. Yeah.
There we go.
There you
Sony, I
go.
will take royalties or a year subscription for free. But I mean, it would be awesome. Just
Mhm.
$15 a month. That's a great deal to play these older games.
Is that how much the Ultimate Game Pass is? It's like 17, isn't it?
Game Pass Ultimate is, yes.
Okay.
Previously, Game Pass was like maybe $13.99 a month for just
Mhm.
Game Pass before it was Ultimate.
Mm-hmm.
And it's lesser if you don't have the PC version, but I do. So
Okay. Yeah. I think I'd $15-17 a month, as long as it's around that same sort of area as the Ultimate Game Pass and whatnot. Yeah, I'd be down for that and everything. I wonder what would happen to all the so I guess they would just kind of filter out the PlayStation Now thing then, wouldn't they? Because they wouldn't really need that.
yeah, I mean, you don't want a streaming service when you can download the games and play them with superior levels of performance.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't think we would get the Tony Hawk games.
Licensing?
Yep, licensing.
Kind of had a feeling
Same with
about
Grand
that.
Theft Auto. Same with any game with music would be difficult
Mm,
because of licensing issues.
fair enough. Well,
Um,
there's still plenty of classics out there that obviously it would really help with the PlayStation sort of catalog. So
you could put Star Ocean 3 on there.
Star Ocean 3.
That is the best JRPG that no one's ever played.
Yeah, I know, because I've never played it.
I had it. I still have it, and it's incredible. I've never beaten it. It's a
Mhm.
2-disc game. I've never beaten the first disc. The
Hmm.
final boss of the first disc is this giant freaking dragon who's so big you can only see his feet. I don't know if there's a second phase to the boss fight because I've never made it past the first. He always stomps me. But I mean, get Kingdom Hearts on there too. That way.
Oh yeah, that'll be easy. They can get that.
Suikoden. I mean,
yeah,
so much.
Do you think that do you think they'll throw Dragon Ball Budokai Ump on there?
I don't know. They'd have to. Again, that would be a licensing thing, but I don't see why they wouldn't.
I mean, I just know a lot of people who own those games. So,
what if they put SOCOM back on there and reactivated the servers?
Oh man, that would be a whole different world.
You could put Dragon Quest 8.
Oh yeah, that works.
Like,
man.
Oh yeah, so much.
The possibilities are pretty much endless. They have a great catalog of stuff they can throw up on there for sure.
Oh, you could put Ico and Shadow of the Colossus on there.
I think you can play those on PS5.
You better be able to, because I've never actually played Ico, but Shadow of the Colossus is incredible.
Oh yeah. I haven't played Ico either, but I have played Shadow of the Colossus. Yeah.
Yeah. Such a good game. I keep meaning to pick up The Last Guardian and play it.
Same. Yeah.
It's like $10 now.
Yeah, I remember seeing the trailers and I was like, yeah, I'm totally getting this game. And like years later, I just never got around to it.
Hey, this is totally off topic, but you played Crystal Chronicles Remastered, right?
I played a little bit, yeah.
It's down to like $12 on the eShop.
Yeah, it did not do well.
I'm debating getting it because I loved Crystal Chronicles.
I think you should probably talk to Alex about it. I mean, if you want to get it, I mean, it is, if you want to get it just to get it, that's fine. But yeah, you might want to talk to Alex about that because there's a lot of stuff, because he's a huge fan of Crystal Chronicles, and there was just a lot of stuff in there that he just did not like.
You know, if Sony goes on and does this, then the only company left without a Game Pass style system would be Nintendo.
I guess technically you could kind of count their Nintendo Online, the N64.
No.
Is that not good enough for you?
No. Oh, I want GameCube.
Oh, GameCube.
Give me Billy Hatcher and the Giant Egg. Give me all the Hitman games. Oh my god.
Another game that hardly anyone ever played.
Yeah, I never played it either, but I've wanted to so badly. Do you know how much that game cost now?
It can't be that much. $25. 35 tops.
Shopping. Billy Hatcher and the Giant Egg. 55 on eBay.
Okay.
94. Well, the disc only is $60.
Jeez.
So it looks like prices kind of vary for it, but just all GameCube games have gone through the roof. They're insanely expensive.
Yeah. Oh, they could throw the Metal Gear games on there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, those are definitely classics.
There's so much.
Oh, throw I don't know if you've ever played this, but you ever heard of a fighting game called Bloody Roar?
Yes.
Yes. Throw that on there.
Dude, we could throw all the old Virtua Fighters on there.
Yeah, you could. Yeah.
Like, make it the JRPG and fighting game machine.
It's definitely possible.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it would be great. The PS5 controller would be really great for fighters, too.
Oh,
the haptic feedback, all the hits you would take, like, based on where you're getting hit, the controller could vibrate. It could shake a certain way when you pull off a special, so you don't have to, like, see that it happens.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
There's so much potential here.
I agree. Let's hope it all comes to fruition.
Yeah, for real, man. Should we talk about the Game Awards?
Crap, dang. Okay, yeah, Game Awards. So much to talk about. All right, yeah. So how'd you like it?
I didn't watch a ton of it, to be honest. I had Twitter open and I was just watching for updates for anything big. What was your biggest takeaway? Like, what was the thing you saw that excited you the most?
Oh, Sonic the Hedgehog,
same.
Undoubtedly. Both the movie, the new trailer for the movie, and the game.
Sonic of the Wilds, you mean?
Sonic of the Wilds, yes.
Yeah.
I'll just run it through real quick. The trailer was amazing. I had a little bit of doubts with Idris Elba playing as Knuckles, but then when he came on the scene, it was like, "What makes you think I need your power?" And I was like, "Holy crap, Knuckles!" Knuckles sounds like he's been through some stuff, man. Like,
I don't get what's up with the casting in this video game movie. It's like freaking Chris Pratt as Mario and Idris Elba as Knuckles.
Well, I will say for me, undoubtedly, I'm looking most forward to the Sonic movie just because I actually really enjoyed the first one. It was a pretty fun romp and
I
everything.
haven't seen it yet, but I really want to.
It's fun. It's a fun movie. I'm not saying it's like the greatest of all time, but it's a fun. Yeah. But no, I'm waiting for the next for the trailer for the Mario movie to come out so I can kind of just like look at it and then like put a post up on Twitter that says, "Yeah, so this Mario movie looks all right, but does it have blast processing?"
It's got
Mode
7 effects.
Right. But yeah, the trailer looked great. As far as the game, like you said, Sonic of the Wild, yeah, it's definitely giving me some hardcore Zelda feels. I was talking with a buddy of mine, and I was like, I'm not really sure how they do it though, because Sonic doesn't traditionally carry like weapons, unless you're talking about that awful spin-off Sonic and the Black Knight, which we won't talk about. But
what? Yeah, that doesn't exist. I don't know what you're talking about, man. That's a bad.
Yeah, it doesn't. We're gonna leave that up. We're gonna leave that away. Leave that behind. But yeah, he doesn't really carry weapons and stuff. So I was kind of trying to think of like how you could, because such a big part of Breath of the Wild is just the crafting and all the other stuff.
I've broken him.
Oh my god! You know what? That sounds so stupid, but I'm here for it.
You know it's gonna be in there. It's gonna happen.
Making chili dogs. Like I can just imagine that. Like it does a little ding when you finish it and everything.
The open world Sonic, I was like, huh, interesting. And then a thought occurred to me that got me almost as hyped as I am for Breath of the Wild 2.
What?
It's an open world Sonic game. Very similar to kind of like how Sonic Adventure was. Maybe this is the Sonic Adventure 3 we've been waiting for. Maybe there's a Chow Garden in this game. That's all I want.
That Chow Garden. I swear to God, man, you gotta let that go.
I'm not.
Trust me, I like the Chow Garden too, but like, you don't think it's like, okay, so all right, let's say they put the Chow Garden in just as it is. You don't think it would be dated now?
No, refine it, dude. Give us like
how?
I don't know, improve it. Make it like a Pokemon daycare. You can trade with people online, get different materials to feed your Chow and make them evolve different traits. Combine Spore with Pokemon with the original Chow Garden. There's so much you can do here, man.
Okay, all right. Well, hey, talk to Sega about it. Maybe they don't see the possibilities, and maybe you do. So,
yeah, come on, Sega. Sonic Frontiers does what Breath of the Wild don't. Let's do it.
Oh man, but as you said though, it's looking great and everything. I can't wait to see a bit more gameplay. We saw more of like the environments and stuff, and just kind of get us like, hey, this is like an open world game, and everything. So, but yeah, I can't wait to see how the gameplay is going to be and everything. But yeah, looks good.
I agree. I didn't see a lot of games that jumped out to me. That new Horizon Forbidden West trailer. Those chef's kiss. Brilliant.
It did look very good. Very good.
It did. I know a game that you probably took notice of.
What?
Glitterhead.
I definitely did. That game was so freaking weird, and yeah, I'm here for it.
I saw that and I'm like, this looks like a Kaz game. And then I was like, oh, Silent Hill? Yep, nope, it's a Kaz game.
You're absolutely right. Abso-freaking-lutely. Yes. But that game looked good. There was like a few games that were unveiled. And I'm blanking on them. Honestly, I am, because it's been a minute. They had a new trailer for what's that game I like? Hellblade. They had a new trailer for that. That looked good.
We finally got a release date for Tunic.
Tunic.
The little Zelda-like indie game with Fox.
Oh, yeah.
I've been waiting on that for ages. I've wanted to play that for so long, and finally, March 16th.
Oh, well, there you go. Awesome. I'm trying to think. Let me run really quick through like what else they unveiled before I forget everything, because it's been a minute. Let's see.
I missed this announcement, but it's described as Metal Hellsinger is Doom as a rhythm game with a metal soundtrack. I want this.
Wait, what? Oh, the rhythm game where
Yeah, Doom. Like, I don't
No,
know.
oh yeah, yeah, we saw that I think last year.
I just like rhythm games.
Oh well, but it's not like. Well, I guess I don't know. We'll see. It's got some pretty reputable artists on there. I saw like Lamb of God on there and whatnot. If you like metal.
Wow, that's like some hardcore throwback metal.
Yeah.
What gets me is Amazon's like, oh, look, we've got Lost Ark. It's a new action MMO. And I'm like, is this why your New World game sucked so bad? Is because you immediately started developing something else?
Shots fired.
It's Amazon.
Here we go. All right, I found a list of games that were unveiled there. Star Wars Eclipse. That is looking like it's going to be really good. That's the one that I told you about. That is being made from Quantic Dream, the guys who did what's it called, Detroit.
Heavy Rain.
Yep.
Beyond Two Souls. All those.
All that stuff. Yeah. So yeah, it looks awesome. I want to play it for sure. And then there's a new Wonder Woman game coming out, so good for them. And then there's Alan Wake 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, which pretty much convinced me that I need to play the first one.
Okay, you should also play Control.
Oh, I haven't finished it, but I have played it. Yeah.
They're in the same universe.
They are?
Yeah, there's references to Alan Wake in Control.
Oh, that is so cool. It makes perfect sense though.
Because Control is like a X-Files sort of deal.
Yeah.
I haven't played it. I want to. That sort of weird sci-fi is my jam. So.
Oh, then yeah, you'd love it then, I feel. Then there was like another trailer for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Me personally, I'm pretty excited to play that. I love Suicide Squad and everything, and it just looks like a fun game. And it's by Rocksteady, so their Batman games were just phenomenal and everything. I love the Arkham City is my favorite Batman game of all time. Then what else? They did a new Forspoken trailer, which unveiled the release date, which I'm also excited to see to play and everything. I think that's going to be fun. We already talked about Horizon and Sonic. They did a Cuphead, a new Cuphead DLC called The Delicious Last Course.
Yeah. I don't care.
You don't care?
No, Cuphead, I don't like the art style.
You don't like that old? I love the art style, man.
It's always been a major turnoff for me. It's one of the reasons I never played it. Also, I'm not good enough, so.
Oh, yeah, it's insanely difficult. And then they showed off a new trailer for the sequel to A Plague Tale and everything, which so yeah.
And they're bringing A Plague Tale to Switch through cloud gaming.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I didn't know about that one.
Yep. Somehow.
Cool. Yeah. Let me see what else. Oh yeah, they announced Among Us, like a VR version of that.
Yeah.
No comments.
No, I don't care.
Fair enough.
Do it for me. I like that the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is getting a multiplayer adaptation. I'm not going to play it, but I think it's hysterical. What's cool for me, they announced Homeworld 3.
Homeworld 3.
It's a old, like mid 90s sci-fi 4X title. And like just hardcore space strategy. And I was like, oh, it's cool just to see that this franchise is still here.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't played it, so I don't really know too much about it.
I've never played it well. I've gotten beaten a lot. Yeah, there just wasn't a ton that really jumped out to me that I cared about. I know that my wife is excited about the Chia.
Oh, that game that's like on the island.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a pretty fun and colorful sort of adventure.
Yeah, it's cool that they're basing this game on this small island in the Pacific that no one's ever heard of.
Yeah.
Like, I know where New Caledonia is,
Mm-hmm.
but only because I happened to see a TV show that was like, yeah, we're going to New Caledonia. And I'm like, you're going where? And I looked it up. Other than that, I'd have no idea where this was.
I got you. And then last one I can see was the Unreal Engine 5 Matrix experience, which I actually did download and I played it that night. It was all right.
Is it even a game, or is it just like a short little thing?
So it is it's a game ish. It is like it's I'd say like 30% of it is like an on rails shooter.
Of course it is.
Yeah, but after it's done and stuff, it pretty much just drops you in the city, and there's no real like objectives per se. Like there are these markers that are around, and I don't know what exactly happens when you do these things. I never stayed around long enough to do them, but there are these markers that tell you like, hey, get in a car and drive from like the north side of the city to the south side. And I'm like, yeah, I don't feel like doing that.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's more. I think it's more of just after the whole on rail shooter thing, it just kind of drops you in the city to kind of show pretty much like how all the lighting and stuff works, and it does look pretty beautiful. Like honestly, it does. They say that that entire city that you're in is, if you were to put it out in like real life, that it's basically all of downtown Los Angeles. Like they've been able to put in so much of this new engine that they're able to make these areas much more expansive than they ever could have been. So I'm over here thinking like, wow, so this is pretty much like the next Spider-Man game. Like
I will say this, I hated the graphics immediately.
Oh really?
It was like straight up Uncanny Valley.
Some of it was.
Yeah. The young Keanu Reeves, I'm like, nope, this is too lifelike looking.
Yeah, it's like some of it did look kind of uncanny, and then there was other parts like when it kind of looked blurry.
Yeah.
Some parts looked a little blurry to me. So, but I'd say though, honestly, like when you're out in the city and stuff, it does look really good. It does. But other than that, though, it was that's why I said like originally, it's all right. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I remember, I mean, it would be cool if they expanded it into a full game, because the Matrix game for GameCube was amazing.
Which one?
Oh
wait, Enter the Matrix, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was
there was another game. Matrix game called Path of Neo, and I much preferred that one, honestly.
I never played that one.
Oh, that was so good.
I honestly, my favorite part was the hacking mini games.
The hacking mini games, really?
I freaking loved it. It was so cool.
Oh man.
But yeah, I don't know. There's just not a ton of stuff at the Game Awards that jumped out to me. Way too much Jeff Keighley.
I mean, he's the head honcho. I mean,
yeah, but he talks too much. And the live music performances too. I'm just like, no. Show us the games. I don't care about the music.
So actually, I participated in one of his. He had a review sort of like chat with everyone on Twitter like the day after, and it's funny you say that, because that was actually one of the things they mentioned, because he was like, hey guys, like, so just like let me know like how the show was, and for the most part everyone was pretty positive about it, but there were some people who basically said like what you just said, which was just like, hey, like, we come here for the games, we want to see the games and stuff. We don't need live performances or anything like that. We don't need celebrities and stuff like that. They were like, I kind of feel like you're taking away from time that could be spent more on the developers and stuff versus, having, someone who's part of like a Marvel film come up and
I
present
agree.
an award and stuff like that. So And and he was like, yeah, we've gotten those comments before and everything and stuff. And he did say something along the lines. He was like, look, he was like, we don't necessarily we don't actually go out and get these people. Like we don't necessarily invite these people. It's more like we have like the Game Awards, and we have people who want to come to them and present this stuff. And not everyone gets in. Even if you do music for a game, like it's not guaranteed that you're going to make it in and everything. I think the only reason that they had like Imagine Dragons and stuff up there, obviously because they have something going on between them and I forget what's the other studio they work with, but there's also Arcane, that show that just came out not too long ago.
The League of Legends movie.
League of Legends, yeah. Which actually I did watch all of it. I watched all of it, and it was it was pretty good. Pretty good. I'm not gonna play League of Legends anytime soon.
But no, I wouldn't.
The animation was super on point though. Like that was some god tier animation. I love the style of it though.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard good things from just about everyone that has.
Oh yeah, it's good. I won't. Yeah,
I agree about the celebrity thing. Like having Keanu Reeves introduce the Matrix thing, that makes sense. But just having random celebrities up there for the sake of drawing it in, like back in what was it, 2001, when they had The Rock introducing the original Xbox.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think it's all about perception. That's another thing I did recently. I watched like, what was it, like the 4 or 5 hour documentary that they did about creating the Xbox.
Was that any good?
It actually was, man. I learned a lot, and it gave me a little bit of a new appreciation for Xbox in terms of their roots and where it all comes from. But that was one of the things that they mentioned. It was all about changing perception and everything, because no one would take Microsoft seriously apparently when they said that, hey, we want to make a console, and they're like, but you guys are a bunch of freaking nerds, like because Microsoft at that time was known for Windows 95, Windows 98. It was known for computer techie stuff, nerdy stuff, and so the whole thing with The Rock, that was kind of like in a way to kind of help change the perception that they're hey, like we can be hardcore, like we can be for the gamers and stuff like that and everything. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe these kind of celebrities and stuff coming on stage. Personally, I don't have as much of a problem with it as long as it doesn't take too much time and everything, because I feel like video games, they've blended over so much now. Like it's almost impossible for you to separate it from anything else. Like it's in Hollywood, it's in movies, it's in music, obviously it's games and
it's
stuff.
In movies, and they're actually getting it right. Someone's not playing Mario while holding a PlayStation controller anymore.
Exactly. But yeah, like, so I feel like it's undoubtedly, like I don't feel like you're going to be able to separate it given like a few years or so. So as long as it has some sort of relevance.
Because in a few years we'll all be living in the metaverse.
Oh God. That was I thought it was really funny. I think that was like one of the things that Jim Carrey actually joked about before they showed the Sonic 2 trailer. He was like, "Oh, sorry guys, I was going to be there tonight to talk a little about the Sonic trailer before it premiered, but it got kind of stuck in the metaverse." So it's like, oh God, I love this guy.
There was also a Nintendo Indie Direct.
There was one. I did not watch it.
I did. There was nothing good. There was no announcement of Sports Story or Silk Song, and everything else was just kind of like, eh.
Oh, well, all right.
I saw
there goes our review
nothing.
of that.
Literally nothing that I was interested in.
Yeah.
Like everyone was watching it because they want to know more about Sports Story. They want the follow-up to Hollow Knight. Neither one of those things made an appearance, so whatever.
Yeah. Well, they don't really need to do a whole lot right now anyway. We're coming up on the end of the year. Next year for Nintendo is going to be crazy as is. There's so many good games coming out. So
2022, just for games as a whole, is going to be complete and utter insanity.
Yes.
We're starting out with Forbidden West in February.
Yep.
Breath of the Wild,
Breath of the
God
Wild.
of War Ragnarok.
God of War.
What else has been? So much has been pushed back to 2022.
Splatoon 3.
Splatoon 3. It's going to be one of the biggest years in gaming. It's going to be like another 2011.
Wait, what happened in 2011? I can't remember what happened in 2011.
Skyrim came out. A ton of other major games came out.
Okay. Yeah.
Like it was just a massive year for releases, and 2022 is stacking up to be very similar. Let's quick search.
Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so I mean, actually, we're starting out with Pokemon Legends Arceus.
Arceus, yeah, that's right.
On the 28th, you've got Elden Ring on January 21st. I know a lot of people are excited about that. I don't care, but a lot of people are.
Good for you.
You've got Saints Row. You've got Marvel's Midnight Suns. You've got all of these others. There's Digimon Survive, for those of us interested in that. There's Ghostwire Tokyo coming out sometime. Gran Turismo 7 is coming out. Quick scroll through here. Stalker 2, Star Wars Hunters, Starfield. Like, there's so much coming out in 2022. It's going to be insane.
So do you think I hate to be a negative Nancy, but do you think that all these games are going to come out? Because I don't feel like all of them will. That's a lot of games. That's a lot of games.
That's too many
something's going to get pushed
that are competing with one another, and companies are not going to what Sony and Xbox are going to find out when Nintendo's releasing Breath of the Wild, and they're going to drop nothing around it because they're going to know. They're going to be like, no. We don't want to.
Wait. If you could pick from any of those titles we just mentioned, which titles do you think is going to be pushed?
Starfield.
Fair enough. Yeah. Okay. I agree with that. Starfield. Yeah. All right.
Like they're going for that whole 11-11-22 thing for the numerical symmetry, but it's Bethesda. A game getting pushed by them is basically like saying, hey, the sun's coming up tomorrow. So
yeah.
Beyond that, of these other games, I could see maybe Marvel's Midnight Suns getting pushed. I don't think Pokemon's going to get pushed. I'm pretty sure it's pretty much done. Also, Pokemon fans would invade Japan if Arceus got pushed back.
I'm predicting 2, and you're going to hate me.
You think Breath of the Wild is going to get pushed again?
I can see the anguish on your face. Don't jump through the screen and kill me, Pat.
It's possible. Like I won't lie.
I don't want it to be. I definitely don't want it to be. But I just know that Nintendo definitely has that thing where it's like it needs to be perfect before it's out.
You know what? Thank God for Nintendo. Don't pull a Halo Infinite with Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Like a bad game is always going to be bad, but a delayed game can eventually be good. I'm okay waiting. I would have said no to that, but as excited as I am, Halo Infinite kind of broke me.
Oh.
So I'm perfectly fine waiting. Take your time, make it good.
Okay. All right. Well, dang, that's not the response I expected from you, Pat. But that's very mature of you.
Halo Infinite made me grow up very quickly.
Hey, we all have to learn, I guess.
Like I'm telling you, man, just story-wise, I love the story so much, and I just hate what they're doing with it.
I know, buddy. I'm sorry.
It's fine. I've got Final Fantasy 14 to play now, and I'm probably not going to be done with Endwalker by the time.
We'll see what happens. My other prediction of what they might push, though, is Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, you know what? I can see that. Because we saw almost nothing from the game. It was literally just that opening. There's no gameplay to show off, and
we haven't had any other trailers since. I'm kind of getting a feeling that it's going to get pushed.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like with the Wonder Woman trailer, it was the same sort of opening. My opinion is don't announce a game if it's in the state. Wait until you have gameplay. I don't want to see a cinematic trailer. I want to see gameplay.
Yeah, I feel like Nintendo was really good at that. Nintendo is really good at like when they unveil games, like it's pretty much at least like I feel like halfway through development for the most part.
Unless it's coming up close. Splatoon, when they're just like, hey, this is happening. We're all like, yeah. And they're like, in 5 years. And we're like, no.
Right. Oh, I'm so excited for Splatoon. If they put Splatoon 3, like, yeah, I will be a little bit sad, but just like you with Legend of Zelda, just make it good. I don't care. Just
Yeah,
take your time with it.
for real. Like
Yeah.
Splatoon 3, when that game comes out, we're all going to get it the same day. It's going to be chaos. We're just going to all have to take off work because
Yep.
all night. And it's probably going to be like, we'll be like, yeah, we played for 16 hours and the first 15 were spent trying to get into a match together.
Let's hope it doesn't pull like a Q thing with Final Fantasy.
Oh, God. No, I'm just afraid like Nintendo's online services.
Oh, yeah, they're online.
The matchmaking is going to be a nightmare.
We're not going to talk about it. Well, maybe they'll work around that somehow. Who knows?
Introduce a proper lobby system.
Yeah.
I mean, they've had one for previous games.
I
don't know why it's not happening for Splatoon, but yeah, it's going to be a good year.
It will, definitely. Yeah, but I think have we crossed the threshold? Have we covered everything?
I think we've covered enough.
Enough, but not everything.
I don't know if we've covered everything. There's been so much. It's so hard to say.
Oh man. Well, we're running kind of late on the time here.
Yeah, it's almost 2 hours.
Yeah. Let's try and cut this thing a bit short here.
Because I think our next recording is going to be our Game of the Year session.
Exactly.
And that one's going to be a long one too.
Yeah. Well, maybe not as long as I think our last Game of the Year was more of like a decade. Like we were looking at a decade.
Yeah, we were covering like the past 10 years.
Yeah, so it may not take as long as the last time we did it.
It shouldn't.
Yeah.
Because we did have that. I swear we spent like an hour debating where Breath of the Wild stacked in the past.
Eventually I cornered with I settled with Breath of the Wild for fear of my own life. So
Horizon was the competitor there. Honestly, that would be interesting if Sony's like, yeah, Horizon's coming out February like 22nd. I don't remember the exact date. And Nintendo pops out and they're like, yeah, Breath of the Wild 2 is coming out February 17th. I would pick Breath of the Wild over Horizon.
Oh, undoubtedly. Yeah, same here, for sure. Yeah.
I mean, and I would say like, oh, that's only 2 months away. Nintendo wouldn't drop it, a surprise drop that quick. Yes, they would, in a heartbeat. Because they did that with
like a fall or probably like an early winter release for that.
I'm thinking November. Probably.
November, yeah.
Like as much as I would love to have it earlier in the year, it's either going to come in like March or it's going to be November.
Yeah.
Or Nintendo could surprise us all and do like a summer blockbuster.
I feel like it's going to be like a November thing because and honestly, I think that would be best because we had that one good trailer, but like I think what they're going to really need is they're going to need to save some of the other footage we haven't seen for E3.
Yeah, and like you said, I don't think we're getting this before E3.
Yeah.
I think Nintendo's going to come in swinging. Like, Miyamoto is going to walk out on stage, drop the Breath of the Wild 2 next gameplay trailer. It's going to end with a release date. He's going to drop the mic and walk off stage. And that's going to be the end of it. Like, everyone's going to be like, well, all the viewing streams for E3 have crashed. We don't know. Like, he's going to float down from the sky in a Triforce. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So let's see. Here is a timeline of the release dates for the Zelda games. No, it's not. It said it was, and now it's not actually showing it. Oh, it's a video. I'm not watching that.
It's all right.
But
yeah. We'll go ahead and wrap this thing up anyway.
Yeah, it's time. I'm gonna run go get some Indian food after this. So.
Yeah, I've got food in the microwave. I need to heat up.
Yep. My wife is out of town today, so I've got the house to myself, and I'm gonna eat something she hates. So.
Oh, what Indian food? She hates Indian food?
She hates curry.
Really?
Yeah, she just does not like curry. And
is it the spice?
Yeah, the spice and the smell.
I love curry.
Me too. I could eat curry every day.
Agreed. Dude, you got to try Lisa's curry. Oh my God, it's so good.
Please do. Like when we come, next time we come to visit, I will absolutely have it.
I'll tell her to make some for you.
Oh yeah, we'll get it set in stone when I'm coming down to visit you guys, and we'll definitely go for that.
Yes, sounds good. All right. Well, I think that's pretty much it for this episode and stuff. Pat, you ready to just do our normal plugins?
Yeah, yep. You guys can find me on Twitter at @PatrickS_Hearn, and you can find Deep Dish Gaming on Twitter at Deep Dish Gaming _
Mm-hmm. And you can find me on Twitter at Casual Kazzy. That's KAZUALKAZZY. And it is the same for on Twitch, where I am also streaming, though I haven't been lately. And I probably will still be a little bit in and out just because it's still holiday season. So my schedule's a little, mixed up. But yeah, I am playing Endwalker. So if you want to stop in, if you're on Twitch and I happen to be online, drop by and say hi.
Yeah, and there's a good chance with how much I'm playing now, we might be playing together when you're streaming.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Mm-hmm.
So, yep, keep an eye out for that. Yep. And if we don't get another episode out before Christmas, which I doubt we will, Merry Christmas to everybody. Hope you have a great time with your families this holiday, and yep, stay safe out there. Stay warm.
Oh wait, yeah. Because next Thursday is the 23rd.
Yeah, I doubt we'll be recording.
Did you want to? I'm just asking.
I was thinking we could record between Christmas and New Year's for our end of the year.
Okay, that works.
Does that work for you? Yeah.
Yeah. That works.
All right, we'll aim for that then.
Cool. All right then.
All right, everybody. We will talk to you next time.
All right. See yous.